So I'm out here tinkering with this guy, and Peanut's here helping. Mainly, I had issues with the front tires, as you know. Let's see. Yeah, I had to pull off those tires because they were unbalanced and they weren't even centered right. So I got myself some new tires, the Mass FX. But I had broken one of the stems when I was inflating it, sadly. But I figured I'm gonna replace the stems on these with new stems, call it good, because I need to get it working on. I'm doing a custom exhaust for it, 100% hand built exhaust. I'm redoing the piston rings, all the gaskets getting redone. I am blocking off the oil injector, and I've got a new master cylinder, which is in my handy dandy toolbox here. Got a new master cylinder. I'm going to modify this one to fit. I have to get a new longer hose, much longer, about 2.5 times as long. And I also have to, where this top nut is, I have to cut off right there for it to work. But I wanted people to know how to do this properly. Now, I got this kit. It's the cheap kit on Amazon, but a lot of people were breaking this hook. Now you can see I did 4 tires, and this thing looks quite a bit beat up, but that's because they put on this weird coating stuff. And I mean, look at that coating on there. The coating just comes right off because it's a cheap plastic. Well, people were getting this stuck. Now, if you look at that, see how that end has been filed just at this tip right here? That tip right there. I took a file to that, took off that point, because that point is what gets stuck. People hang up on that outer point when trying to pull it out. So when they try to pull it out, it straightens the hook, it bends the hook. You take a bastard file to that, you file that down, and it slips in and out easy. And I did the first tire, tested it out, got stuck, wiggled it out, then filed it down, and then I did the other 3 tires. I did all 3 other tires in about 40 seconds. I mean, it was less than a minute. You do as it instructs. You put your valve stem on the handle, and then you goop it up with all kinds of lubricant on here, stick it in through here, and just plunge it in. And then once it's in, you pull it back out to where it sits and locks. Now I didn't have any like regular lube, so I just used my performance grease. But I've got new tires on the front. I'm looking at new ones on the back, but I'm going to be pulling off all this head unit here, and I'm going to do a new exhaust around the corner out the back. I'm going to pull off the head, do all the innards. That's the oil injection out through the front. You fill that up with your 2-stroke oil, and it has a line that goes down to that pump right there. That's your pump. Well, I'm gonna disconnect that pump, put in a block kit or a plug kit, and then just go for premix. I'll premix my gas and everything. Now the kit that I got, it comes with a new cable that goes from here down. So so I don't have to worry about that crap. But I got it running the other day. It was running really bad because, again, that pump is busted. It's only supposed to let in a little bit of a little bit at a time, a little oil here and there, but it is dumping in like 10 times more oil than it's supposed to the point where the oil was just running out of the exhaust. So, I mean, you could see all the oil spots and then the oil down in there. Oil was running down in here, and that was just when it was running, it was just flowing oil out, and that just became completely empty. So once I pull that out and plug it, I'm going to remove that. It'll give me extra space up here. I'll do a bar mount of some kind here and here, and put like a basket on the front, you know, something to store stuff or haul stuff, because I got my one headlight down there and one headlight up there. This one doesn't work. When I redo this foot peg here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this foot peg or foot platform back one bolt hole, because as it sits, I mean, you can't go. There's no other leg for this. I can't move this forward anymore. I mean, as you can see, it's on its last holes. There is no other hole for that to move forward any. So I can't get the full range of motion out of that. And this pump doesn't work. Or that master cylinder, it came in busted, so it shot, and I don't care. So when I put on the new master cylinder, I'll move the two foot pedals back just one notch, so I can get the full range of motion on that. Still got to inflate the back tires, because I just did the plugging. And when I get this completely, you know, up and running and everything is perfect, and I have actual brake pressure with this rear, I'm going to replace the banjo here with a banjo light switch like I have for up here. Because when you squeeze the brakes up here, pressure builds into a switch right there, and that switch turns on the back light right there. Okay, let's see if I can get this back light to work here for you. Yeah. See, like that light is hooked up to that, and I'll do a switch for there to two switches, or to two lights, one on this side, one on that side. That way I have my front stop light and then two side lights, and I'll have my regular running lights under there along with reflectors. Boom boom, everything will reflect in the back. And I turn on my lights here, and lights up pretty good back here. They don't look that bright in the daytime, but at night they light up the ground. They light up a lot, but it's coming along nicely. It's a work in progress right now, but once it's all up and done, once I get that brake on the for the rear working, I'll be happy. I'll have rear brake lights, so I can step on the brake at a stoplight, and I'll have my hands free to, you know, work stuff. But it's a tough one. Hey, I still have to inflate the rear tires again, and I also have to paint those rims, because as you can see, nice and freshly painted, dirty still. But you know, I just wanted to highlight that easy peasy fix. I mean, you don't have to pop the bead or anything. You just stuff it in next to it, pull it out, plunge a new one in, and call it good. But I'm looking forward to getting this thing back running and on its own, so I can fuck around with it, and I'll take it up to my property up in the hills, hit the trails, have a little fun. I'm going to mount some trailer equipment to the ass end of this, so I can use this to plow and grade the land out there and level me off, because I'm getting a kit for a box blade that'll drag behind. It'll tear up the ground, flatten the ground, and remove the big rocks and stuff. But I mean, so far so good. And then of course I'm going to be taking it up there in this guy. I just got a new trailer adapter, so I can tow that trailer with this, because this is a 7-way and that's a 4-way. There's Peanut again. But I mean, this thing with that pump blowing on there, like, that's why I was having such a hard time with it. That's why it was dying. That's why I was having a hard time starting. That's why I was having a hard time staying running. I had very, very low power, low throttle. I just couldn't get it. I mean, look how juicy that is. And you got all the freaking oil down below. It was just pooling underneath. Like, it, I didn't even notice it, because, like, you know how oil gets into the exhaust and burns off? Well, this is attached right there, and it was just running out, so it didn't have time to sit in there and burn, so it wasn't going out the tailpipe as smoke. So that ruined me. That's what did it for me. But now it's getting fixed. It's getting worked on. I've got all the stuff ready except for the pump kit. I'm still waiting on that. Once that comes in, I'll throw this up on a stand, remove all the plastics, and just tear it down and rebuild it. But that's it for now, I guess.